What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, take a ride with us on the Big Sandy Chronicles. We got a brother on today, Latin King, King JC, man. Just tell the people who you are, man. Tell them where you're from and talk a little bit about you.
Uh, I'm King JC. I'm out of northern Indiana, South Bend, Indiana. A little city, but we about an hour from Chicago. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of Chicago politics and a lot of Chicago gangs out that way. You know, I don't know. Today I just searched out of nowhere. I just searched Big Sandy because I was talking to my wife about the prison. It's like motherfuckers don't even realize how crazy this prison is. And I YouTubed it, and you popped up. I wrote you, and look, I'm here now talking to you. So I'm gonna bring it to you real and how you want it, and that's what I'm doing right now. So you know what I mean.
So let's talk a little bit about your situation. How long you been out of prison?
I've been out of prison for going on 5 months now. You know what I'm saying?
You've only been out for 5 months, man. Are you struggling a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm adjusting. You know what I mean? I did some shoot time so that and then not only that, like now if you left from Big Sandy or you did any time from Big Sandy and you on federal parole or any level like higher security prison, it's mandatory to see a psychiatrist. It's part of my parole. Have to. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, I didn't know that they were doing that, but I think that's a good thing, man. Prison's
Yeah.
definitely a dangerous place. I just told you I interviewed someone who, their son was killed at USP Canaan with 7 months left, which was outrageous.
Right,
But
right,
I want to talk about
right.
you, man. I want to talk about your story and how you ended up in
Okay.
prison, man. Tell us how you ended up in prison.
Okay, so like I said, a lot of the gang banging shit. A lot of my brothers got hit up on a RICO indictment. A lot of heroin, a lot of murder and shit like that. So when you're guilty by association, they're gonna come get you regardless. You know what I'm saying? Even if and, really, I got lucky with ducking it. You know what I mean? I ain't get hit with them, but my thing was guns and shit. So I was going a lot of gun shows and got hit with some pistols and a little bit of dope and shit. So I didn't get too much time on the federal end, but they smacked me on the state end. You know what I'm saying? So after the feds, I had to go back to the state. But I wasn't new to the prison scene or nothing like that. But when you go to Big Sandy, it's a whole nother ball game, bro. And I be trying to tell people, man, man, I don't even know, but we gonna get into it. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
talk
So,
about this. So you've been to state prison in Indiana, but now you're going to Big Sandy, man. You're going to federal prison. Do you know about Big
mhm.
Sandy before you get there?
Well, anybody from northern Indiana, the Illinois area, everybody got to check in at MCC Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And the King started from Chicago. That's the land. So, and at that time, we got all these indictments going on. So, the big homie automatically, you got 2 weeks to get your paperwork. You know what I'm saying? If you from around this area, you got 2 weeks. When you hit that yard, you got 2 weeks to get your paperwork. And if you don't know, you're gonna find out real quick. You know what I'm saying?
You know that Big
So,
Sandy was a dangerous place before you got there?
oh yeah, everybody was hyping it up when all the CEOs at MCC like, oh, you going where your big homie at too? Your big homie's over there. You know what I'm saying? But when I got there, he wasn't there no more. You know what I'm saying? But uh, he's actually on. I don't know if you watch Gangland. He's on Gangland. You know what I mean? The one. You ever watch that show?
Yeah, of course, man. But tell the people who the big homie was, man.
Uh, there's two ganglands. There's the New York Kings, and then there's Chicago King. The Chicago King, his name is Fernando Ace King. They call him King Ace. He was at Big Sandy for a little bit, but now he's over at I think he's at McCreary now. I'm not sure where he's at, but and not only that, they let Lord Gino, they let him out at 20 years at ADX. He's at McCreary. You know what I'm saying? So hats off to
Let
that
me ask you
brother.
this, right? You get to Big
Mm.
Sandy, you get there, do the homies embrace you right away? I mean, how's that work? Tell the people how it works when you get there.
Oh no, no, no. Really, really, they really don't want to talk. until you got that paperwork, until you got your driver's license. You know what I'm saying? It really ain't no rap. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna lie, they kind of treat you like shit until you get your shit right. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. You know what I mean? And I understand why, because they don't want nobody jacking their Mac for having to fuck you up or something, because you bogus. You know what I mean?
So then
But
you get your license. You're good. They check you
right.
out. You're good. You're running with the Latin Kings. Are you a Latin King at that time or no?
Yes, I'm still a king, but until that paperwork is verified, and not only that, I think we got one of the most. We got to get so many things, man. We got to get chronological report, plea agreement, PSI, goddamn it, docket sheet, uh, what else? Everything you said in the bitch, everything you said in court. We gotta get all that. If you went to state prison, you need your state ID. I mean, your state DOC number. They checking all that. You know what I'm saying?
They find out you're good, and now you're living in Big Sandy. What's it like there, man?
It's hell inside of a hell. You know what I mean? You gotta learn. You gotta learn the politics immediately. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know who's who, what gangs is what. I even had to stop saying certain words because you know where I got a big family over here, so I used to be like, "Cuz, what's up, cuz? What up, cuz?" And one of my homies was like, man, you gotta stop saying that though." You know what I mean? Because we ain't never been around Crips or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't keep saying that. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
Were you nervous over there?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I ain't gonna say I'm no motherfucking tough Tony or nothing like that, but any motherfucker first day in a maximum prison, he ain't nervous a little bit. He full of shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
And me and you, we both knew a kid, right? I was in Raybrook with this kid. I might have mentioned him on the channel before. He ends up messing up in Raybrook. He's at an FCI. He's from St. Louis. You know, he's over there. He's getting high. He's drinking. He's doing all kinds of wild shit, man. Young kid. He ends up coming to Big Sandy. They ship him. You know, they write him up. They put him in the hole. He gets transferred to Big Sandy. He's over there in the drug program. Something happens in the drug program. They move him over to a regular unit, right?
Yeah.
Tell the people
Yeah.
what happened with that kid, man.
Man, he got killed trying to break up a fight. Like he about to go home and everything, man. He was my neighbor. He was my neighbor for about 8 months. Cool little youngster, man. I mean, he had little issues, but he was young and stuff. But he went out there trying to stick his neck in something, trying to break something up, and ends up dying. It wasn't even his fight. You know what I mean?
One of his
And
homeboys. He was a Crip, I think, right?
yeah, he was a Crip. Yeah, St. Louis Crip, man. One of his own homies, man. Put that thing in him, man.
Was it one of his own homeboys that killed him?
Yeah, it's like an accident type thing. You know what I mean? But you got in the way of that motherfucking steel and shit. That shit just like a bullet. Got it, man. He ain't got no. You know what I mean? Shit.
So, I mean, he was your neighbor, man. Did you see it, man? Did you see him die?
Nah, he was in the drug program was in a C building, and they moved him all the way to A. And at that time, A building was rocking. A lot of them dudes from ADX coming over there, they going straight to A building. You know what I mean?
He was your neighbor in the drug program. He gets kicked out of the drug program, has to go to a regular unit, and that's where he ends up getting crucified.
Yes. Exactly. Them units over there in A building, they ain't even got the half of the bunks are missing. I don't know if they was doing that was there or not. They shaving the bunks down now, making goddamn it tomahawks. You know what I mean? When my first bunk, when I got to there with the bro, my first bunk, my feet, I was on top bunk, my feet dangled inside. My feet dangled inside for that much a chunk of the bunk was missing for people cutting it up and making a knives out of them. You know what I mean?
I want the people to know that, man. Like that's where they get that steel from, man. They put that nail clipper on there, and they just cut out chunks of steel, man.
Right. Listen, we had some sureños on top of us, on top tier. That's all you hear all night. Finally, the noise stopped. I'm fresh. I'm on the new. I'm like, man, the noise stopped. And he's like, just hold on a second. Then next thing you know, all you heard was bling, 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 like metal hitting the floor, bling, 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 and they cheering like, yeah, because it takes a minute. It takes a minute to get that steel off of there. You know, it's about that thick. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a little mission.
I feel like you feel like the cops were nervous there? Were the cops scared? Did they let people just do whatever they wanted?
I mean, the new one, you get some that want to be assholes, and they usually get what they got coming. But I ain't really had too much problem with the police. They didn't mind their business. They shake them keys when they need to. You know what I mean? And
When you
shit,
say
I didn't.
shake the keys, man, what are they doing? They're letting people know, hey, I'm doing my rounds. If you're doing something wrong,
Exactly. When he get up and walk, he shake them keys so the motherfuckers know that he finna walk. I didn't see police get stabbed just for not shaking the keys. You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect, and we respect you. You respect us. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta remember, a lot of these dudes ain't going home. You know what I mean? This they house. You know what I'm saying? That's what my brothers used to tell me. Like all my brothers there, it was it wasn't too many of us either. We not a prison gang. We a street gang. You know what I mean? And as far as Latinos, that was Sureño yard, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? And
how
but
many Latin Kings were at Big Sandy when you were there?
it wasn't, man, maybe 25, 30 maybe. And that's nothing. You know what I mean?
Were the Latin
That's
Kings respected when you were there?
most definitely. The way we move and the way we handle business and the way we conduct ourselves, the respect comes with it. You know what I mean? Um, we're the biggest Latin gang in America. You know what I'm saying? In the world. You know what I'm saying? But in prison, that's Sureño. That's all that's them. You know what I mean? That's where they rock at. You know what I mean? And all my hats off to them. I respect them. We got a lot of respect for them. You know what I mean?
You guys ever have an
Uh
alliance with them cats or anybody?
uh me, I was real. I don't want to say no names, but man, we had a black hand on there. When I was there, you know what a black hand is, right? Yeah,
Of
of course.
course.
Of course.
You were probably there when Bobby was there, or Fox maybe.
No, Joe. Joe.
Yeah,
That's all like this. Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. I think I got a picture
Yeah.
on my computer of him anyway. But
Million.
let's talk more about this, right? How old were you when you went to prison, man? I'm talking
First
about
time,
federal prison for the federal bid.
the federal bid was 25 or 26 maybe. You know what I mean?
25 or 26. How old are you now?
I'm 35 years old.
Do you feel like you put prison behind you in the life of crime? I mean, you only been out for 5 months, but do you have a plan? That's the question today.
Right. Yeah, I definitely had a plan. I had to grow up a lot right there. That spot right there really put some meat on my head and made me realize what's important in life. You know what I mean? And to be grateful of still being here because a lot of my homies are dead. A lot of them ain't coming home. You hear me? And I got my plan together, and one of the main things is getting away from where I'm from. I went to a whole nother city. I live in Indianapolis now, and like I told you, I got certified as a personal trainer in Big Sandy. You know what I'm saying? And that's my career as of today. You know what I mean? I make over.
I want to talk about something you said. You said
Mm,
like what's important to you, right? What is important to
right,
you?
right.
What's important? It's more than a word. What's important to you?
What's important to me? My kids, my life. You know, the people that love me and I took for granted. You know what I mean? And shit like that is important to me. There's a lot of things important, but a lot of shit took for granted too. You know what I mean? Like on a whole nother level. You know what I mean?
Think Big Sandy
Uh,
had an effect on you where you started to appreciate things when you're seeing, this extreme violence? I can tell from talking to you that you just got out, you're a little bit whatever, but we'll
mhm,
get into that in a minute, but do you think it affected
right.
you to say, "Man, I want to change my life?"
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. On everything it did. Cause I think I should have went there the first time. I probably been scared straight. You know what I mean? But
One of the worst things
uh
you've seen over there, man.
Oh my God. I seen 9 people die with my own eyes. You know what I mean? That's just with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying?
In Big
At Big
Sandy?
Sandy. Yeah, at Big Sandy. You know what I mean? The first thing I seen, the craziest thing I seen was one of the DC guys. It was a youngster. I was only there maybe 2 days. You know what I mean? I ain't even got my knife yet. You know what I mean? Uh, paperwork on the way. I gotta, still getting. They still, treat me a little bit funny, and you know what I mean, just peeping me out. You feel me? And I understand why they do that. You know what I mean? And anyway, the deuces go off. I don't even know what that mean yet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the people know what that means. Then the deuces go off. That means somebody getting fucked up or something going down. You feel me? And so we go back to the A building and shit, and boom, they let us right back out. Boom. Well, I guess this is what happened. Anyway, I'm just breaking down. This is what happened. So the youngster gets into it with his big homie from DC. We don't rock with DC. Period. We ain't even supposed to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how they be. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna go there though. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the youngster gets into it with his big homie and shit. Cause I guess the youngster seen one of the dudes he beefed with in the streets, and he's like, I'm going to get him. Both of them got life sentences, so they own that. You know what I mean? And old school like, you ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Well, we see the whole argument. My older king brother, he been down about 20 at this time. He's like, just peep it out, just listen. You ain't gotta look, just listen. You know what I'm saying? And they arguing. But it's louder in there. So if you ain't really paying attention, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna know nothing that's going on until it pop off. You feel me? They on the second tier and they arguing. So next thing you know, youngster goes back to his cell. Boom. I guess he grabbed that hawk, right? Come right back. Cause he was like, nigga, you ain't gonna tell me nothing. You ain't my daddy. You feel me? The youngster got like 100 and something years. You know what I mean? 19 years old. Old school been down about what he said, about 20 something years. Well, anyway, look, he goes right back up the stairs, hit him right in the neck. Bang. You hear me? And I ain't never seen, like, only in movies, cause old school grabbed that motherfucker and pulled it out, and that shit shot up like 20 feet. I'm not bullshitting you. And I was like, I ain't never seen that in my life. And it just kept like with his heartbeat going like this. But his adrenaline's still pumping. He grabs that motherfucker and stabs him back with it. You know what I'm saying? But you can see the life slowly going out of him. And the fight just go up out of him. And then finally youngster gets back on top of him and just going crazy. It was a murder, literally a murder scene. They got the FBI coming from the outside. Caution tape, pictures and all that. The blood going up, the tear this like 20 feet. They taking pictures and shit. And I was like, man, I went to go holler at my enforcer. When I get my knife, you know what I mean? Like, shit, goddamn. He's like, man, they so prone to the shit, like it's nothing to them. You know what I'm saying?
That was your first one to see, and like you said, sometimes people are just like, man, it's just part of an everyday life in there, right?
Right.
And I had a dude write me on an email, and he says, "Hey, man, he said I did 30 years, man, and that stuff don't happen in there every day. Prison's a boring place. I never had a fight. I never got stabbed. I was in there 30 years." And he acted like that stuff don't happen, man, but that stuff does happen, doesn't it?
What, man, that stuff happens on a daily. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you that.
I ain't gonna,
Let me ask you about that for a minute, right? Because I still want to touch base on this. When you've seen that, this is the first time you've seen this, and you've heard the stories. You end up in Big Sandy. You're there only a couple days, and you see this. How does it affect you, man? When you lay down in your cell, are you like, holy shit?
Yeah, that night, I think that night, I remember, I got a great memory. That night, I was like, man, I'm here now. You did it now. You here now. So, shit. It's trying to buck up, bucko, you feel me? You know what I mean? Lay some boots up, you know what I mean? Shit, you here now, goddamn it.
Your reality was
I
there. It was staring you right in the face.
Reality punch you right in the face, goddamn it. Shit.
So
What you gonna do now?
now eventually you end up getting a knife, right? Did you keep a knife on you at all times over there?
Listen. That's part of art. That's part of art. Goddamn man. You know what I mean? On our laws, we got to keep a plastic and a metal at all times. You know what I'm saying? Except for the chow hall, the metal got to get put up. But let me tell you, like I told you in my thing, a lot of people start noticing it. Like when we out on the yard and shit, I got metal. I got metal on my leg from getting pins and from getting shot. So every time the metal detector, you got to scan your ID. You walk through. Well, I go off every time. So the police eventually they're like, oh yeah, you got metal on you. So now it was the homies' idea is like you might as well carry all of it. They don't even pat you down no more. So sometimes I be got 10, 12 knives on me at sometimes, you know what I mean? So like, the deuces go off on the yard and shit. People start noticing that all the brothers come towards me. They're like, why they all run towards you? Like, you know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers start catching on, but like it got to the point. It's so bad over there. Like I don't know if it was like that when you was there, but it's only a fine now. You get caught with a knife. Any other joint, you get extra time for that. Big Sandy, it's a $200 fine. You know what I mean?
Doesn't even matter. It didn't matter back then, man. Like there were so many people in the hole, they had nowhere to put you, so they would give you what they would call was a walk-in 100 series. You're still walking the compound. You just got caught with a
Exactly.
knife this big, but you're still out there because they got nowhere to put you, man. Definitely
Exactly.
not a nice place to be, right?
No, definitely not, man. And I be trying to tell people. I tell my wife all the time. She's like, she start crying on some of the stories I tell her because she's like, man, I can't believe you've been through shit like that. I was like, I can't either, baby. Sometimes you're like, shit, but I made it. Goddamn it. A lot
Let
of
me ask you
motherfuckers
this.
don't. You know what I mean?
Why did you reach out to me, man? Did you feel like, you had things on your chest and that you wanted to get it off, that it's kind of like therapeutic? Like, damn, man, I want to talk to this
Right.
kid.
Right. Well, like I gotta do mandatory uh like psychiatric shit, you know what I mean? Cause the violence is not normal. You know what I'm saying? And the lady I talk to, sometimes I don't like. She really suggested it. Like, man, go talk to somebody you can relate to. Cause I can't talk to you. You don't know what the fuck I've been through. You don't know what the fuck I done seen. You know what I'm saying? You got your little degree, and you do all that, but like the shit I done been through, it's on a whole nother level, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking none of that depressing, antidepressant. I ain't depressed. I just been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. Everything else is fine. It's just I'm just trying to adjust a little bit, but everything else cool. Like I'm a little skittish and shit, but you know what I mean. But
I,
that
I
was her
can
suggestion.
I
You
can
know what I
see
mean?
it. Yeah, I can see it in the video. You're moving around. You're like, and
Right,
those
right,
things do affect people. And sometimes when we're sitting in prison, we don't realize that it affects us. But
right,
when you get out of prison, because I had a whole
right,
bunch of plans, and I was like, man, I'm good. I'm never going to be like that. And when I got out of
right,
prison, I was affected, and I know that you're affected. I see it, and the people that are
right,
watching the video are going to see it. And hopefully, man,
right,
maybe a year from now, we'll do another interview, and we'll see if you've
right,
calmed down a little bit. But I want to talk to
right,
you. I want to get off the scared straight stuff, right? Let's get on some real
right.
stuff, man. Let's talk about the other things that hurt people when they're in prison, man. What's your favorite
Mhm.
holiday?
Favorite holiday?
Yeah.
Uh, Probably Thanksgiving. Right,
Thanksgiving, Christmas, family things, right?
right,
What
right,
was
right.
Thanksgiving like in prison, not being able to be with your family?
Uh, that shit hurts, man. It hurts, especially when the baby's looking for you. I had little kids at that time; they was babies. So calling home like that, it sucks, man. You know what I mean? After eventually you get a little numb to it though, but it still hurts. You know what I mean? So if you got a family to call home to, them be some of the worst days. Be the holidays. You know what I'm saying? Especially you got a big family like mine. Like that was one of the days where all the family together, they missing motherfuckers. So it hurts. It definitely hurts. Especially you got family that care for you and love for you. You know what I mean?
Let me
So,
ask you this, man. You ever
right.
go to bed hungry at night?
Uh, it's been a couple times I went hungry. Like when we get on lockdown, like in 2017, we was on lockdown maybe 9 of the months. So we probably ordered maybe 4 times that whole year. You know what I'm saying? So it's a couple times we went hungry, but sometimes like I got bros, and we gonna eat somehow. We
That
gonna
that
eat.
was uh that was one of the things, man, that used to hurt me, man. I used to holidays crushed me, and being
Right,
hungry, man. Like when there is a lockdown and there is no commissary, and you could have a
right,
hundred
right.
brothers in there, but none of us got anything because we ain't been in the store in
Yeah,
3 months.
exactly,
And
exactly.
I
Yeah.
want people to know what it's like, man, to go to bed hungry, man, because maybe that'll be the deciding factor. Like, man, maybe I better
Right,
rethink the stuff that I'm doing out here in the street,
right,
man.
right, yeah.
It
Yeah, when
might
you
sound like
hungry,
a, JC, it might sound like a small thing now, but when you're sitting in that
right,
cell and you're locked
right,
down on Thanksgiving and you're locked down on Christmas and you got nothing to eat,
right.
that shit hits home, doesn't it?
Yeah, depressing. You got that, man. Then when your stomach empty, and then your brain start getting crazy, then you start thinking like fuck, man. I done been there, man. And then they bringing you these peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and shit. Like what this? My son eat more than this. You know what I'm saying? Like when we come off them lockdowns, people come out there like shriveled up. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Motherfuckers do not know what it like. And I can't even, and that's why I like talking to you, man. I seen one video and I was like, man, I need to talk to him, man. You know what I'm saying?
Do
Because
know
a
I've
lot
been
of
there,
dudes,
man. I experienced it. I
mm,
was in Big Sandy when it was, it's always been a dangerous place, man. And when I was there, it was when it was really, really
it was
rocking. When
really
they brought
rough. It
everybody
was
from
really,
Beaumont, it was really,
right,
really rocking, man. It wasn't the
rocking,
place that you wanted to be.
right. They was they was still fighting over TVs and shit when they over there. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this: while you're in prison, who was the most dangerous or toughest gang when you were there?
When I was at Big Sandy, I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to say those Sureños, man. It was about 400 of them. I ain't gonna lie to you, about 400 of them. You know what I
I
mean?
did a video on it. I said that they were the toughest gang, most toughest group
Mm,
of dudes, and you know what? I got along with a bunch of them. One of my
mm,
closest friends, man. This kid named
mm.
Spanky. He's a South Sider.
Right.
He's from Guatemala, but he came to L.A. when he was like 7, and that's what he
Mhm.
is. He caught his case in Indiana. He's got 37 years, man.
No shit. Yeah. Like I got me and the Black Hand, man. Him was like this. I ain't even going to the shoe. He was my neighbor for 6 months. Me and him like that. And like I'm gonna tell you a story when we get time. I'm gonna tell you a story about that, man. Like this some shit you seen on the movie. I couldn't even believe it with my own eyes, man. You know what I'm
You
saying?
want to tell us? Tell everybody. We're on an interview.
Look, listen, we on the yard. It's Christmas Day, 2017, Christmas Day. We so militant and we got to be up on our shit that we walk in a line when we go to chow. You know what I'm saying? Security reasons, for security purposes. Everybody watching everybody back. You know what I'm saying? And we must have fucked up in line. So now we out there on Christmas Day doing a workout. You know what I'm saying? All of us. It's my day for security. I'm on security that day. But then I tell all the brothers, I'm like, man, you notice there ain't nobody out here. Remember, it's on Christmas, so everybody inside eating and watching sports and shit. We the only ones out there. It's us and about 60 Sureños. You know what I'm saying? And the Black Hand. You know what I mean? And I kid you not, I was like, man, we just gonna hold off on this, man. Let's see what's going on. Finally, they spokesperson, enforcer, whatever they call it, he come talk to me. Boom, boom. He's like, man, hey, man, this ain't got nothing to do with y'all, man. We gonna take care of some business. We gonna let y'all know, you know what I'm saying? Woo. But when in the rec yards, you got to go through a gate to get to the other side, and they got to unlock that to let you in there. I kid you not, Chad. The police open the door. Come on, Joe. Who's coming with you? Boom, boom, boom. About 8 of them. 8 of them walk out. Open the other door. Boom, boom, boom. Let them in there. Deuces go off. That motherfucker bomb right there. Boom. You know that bomb they throw out the tower? Boom. Man, I'm talking about. I found the motherfucker on the floor like that when they boom hit him. Boom, boom, boom. About 50 times. You hear me? The police come running. They got the little double barrel thing. They come running with that thing. Boom. They said, everybody get the fuck down. Not you, Joe, though. Not you. You ain't gotta get down, Joe. You hear me? Listen, I swear to God. It's like hey, I'm looking at my brother. We both, we on the ground. You gotta get on the ground and shit when the deuces go off. I'm looking at my brother like, man, is we watching a movie right now? He's like, man, They opened it. They was like, "Who going to jail for this?" He points them out. Boom, 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 boom. They opened the gate for him, let him back on the other side. Boom. He just went on about his day. And I was like, man.
Them dudes have a lot of power, man.
Yeah.
I hear you. So look, man,
Power.
you get out of prison, right? What's your first day
Mhm.
like? As soon as you walk out, how are you feeling, man?
I'm a little skittish. A little skittish. You know what I mean? I remember my mom tried to touch me. And I was like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? But it got a
Oh,
little better
mom.
since my mom, yeah, man. Like when you ain't got nobody used to touching you in so long, it's just, you know what I mean? But you know, I got used to it, man. I'm still adjusting. You could tell though. You know what I'm saying? Like even my girl sometimes she be like, you know what I mean? Like, but my first day, like I ain't even gonna lie, I was, it was me and the lady. You know what I'm saying? And then I got my kids, of course, and went and seen them and stuff. But like it don't even seem like it's been that long. It ain't been that long. You know what I mean? But
I'm
I
gonna
left from a state prison, so
let me ask you this, right? Maybe we'll do another interview. We'll talk about the state prison on there.
right.
What's your focus, man? What are you gonna do to stay out of prison? That's what I want to ask you today. What are you gonna do to stay out?
Uh, I always got to remember what the fuck I've been through, and do I want to do that again? You know what I'm saying? I ain't no spring chicken. You know what I'm saying? And these youngsters, they done fucked the whole game up. Like convicts is rare now. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I went. I mean, not luckily, but I went to prison at a young age. I've been around older. I know to carry myself. But these youngsters, they don't play by the rules at all. So I really don't want to deal with that. First of all, and my kids, man. I got to focus on them.
That's the answer I was looking for.
Yeah,
You
you
hear me,
know what I mean.
JC? They got
Yeah,
to be your motivation, not just what you've seen in prison, but you got these
right,
kids, man, that you need to break that cycle, man, that cycle of
right.
imprisonment, the cycle, if you
Exactly.
can, man, if it's poverty, you got to work, you got to take care of your kids, man, and you got to
Right,
mold them
right.
and put them on the right path and make sure that they don't end up in the places that
Exactly.
you were at. That's up to you. That's what your job is as a father, man.
Exactly. Exactly. Because we got a lot of boys in my family. We got a big family, man, and every last one of them been to prison, man. You got to stop it sooner or later. You feel me?
I feel you. So listen, man. Before we go, we're gonna get ready to close the show, right? But
Right.
we've been on here for a half hour, a little longer. What
Right.
message would you have for a youngster, man, that's going down the wrong path, brother?
Uh, man. I was young, man. I ain't listen to nobody either, man. Sometimes they got to knock that melon before they get some sense. But my message would be, look, you out there doing what you doing, and acting like you acting, and don't ever they don't run out of room. They don't never get too packed for a motherfucker. They gonna make some room for you. You know what I'm saying? And remember this: all the motherfuckers that you think your homies ain't your homies. You know what I mean? I seen that firsthand. You know when it was a lot of us got on the indictment and shit. This the stack. I swear to God, this the motherfuckers who done told, and these the motherfuckers who done kept it 100. You know what I'm saying? You see it, you think you're your guy. That's what made me tighten up my circle too. Like my circle this big now. You know what I mean? You can't trust nobody, man. You know what I'm saying?
Feel you, man. Listen, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on the show, sharing your story, man, sharing your
Right, right, right,
experience. We're gonna have to do this again at a later date, man, because I want to
right,
see
right,
what you're like in maybe 4 or 5 months compared to what you're like now. Because I see it, bro. You're jittery. You're all over the place. But
right, right, right.
I want people to understand that prison does affect people, and this is it. This is an
Exactly.
example of what it is. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
I
I
want
gotta
you
see.
to never forget
Right,
that
right,
you
right.
have to be the example for your kids, man. We must become the change that we seek to see in other people. Don't forget that. If you
Exactly.
got to rewind this video to hear that again, make sure you do it as
Yeah,
soon as it comes out. All right?
I like that what you just said.
Don't
Like
don't
that.
don't ever give up on yourself, and don't give up on your kids, man.
Never, never. can't now. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it put.
I'm gonna close the show. All right.
I appreciate you, Chad, man. I mean, I appreciate you so much. This shit helped me a lot, for real, for real.
Hey, look,
You
if
know
you
what
need to talk to someone, you got my number. But I'm gonna close the show. I'm gonna tell people, man, if you like the video, share it, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and make sure you leave a comment. And make sure you respond, King JC. If they hit you, respond to the people, man. All right.
All right, I got you. Appreciate you, man.
All right, brother. With respect, Blood on the Razor Wire TV.